Well, we have Trimet back in the news again. This is after the belated lift operator had taken a dump, and that somehow ended up as a news story. I still can't figure out why. This time we have a incident on the Max where a guy with his dogs got separated, and it's turned into another one of these fests of let's hang the driver by the tree. Okay, let's watch this video and I'll cut in.
That was the one word that I could use to describe it. It was surreal. Like, did that really happen?
Chaotic moments for Green Line riders at the Lent station Sunday night. They watched a handicapped man with one leg get dragged when the train departed. His 2 service dogs were on board. He was not. K2's Chris Lytle is live along the Green Line in Southeast Portland. So, Chris, what's Trimet's response?
Well, Trimet has launched an internal investigation. As for the witness, she tells us she wants Trimet to make some serious policy changes.
The old internal investigation. I've been part of those when I was working there. They launched internal investigation on me too. You know what that really is? People that understand this is called the Stonewall technique. I mean, they have cameras on the platform, they have cameras on the train. They can obviously see what happened immediately, but the standard technique for government is to stonewall any answer, you know, because in a week nobody will remember. This is all intentional. Anything that happens with the government, you see the same thing. We're investigating. We'll get back to you in a year. We saw that with the audit, the fake audit that was conducted by our governor now. They ordered an audit at Trimet. It took them a year to complete the audit, and they did that intentionally. You know, this is how government functions. When there's a public outroar, we'll just say we're investigating, and by the time we get done, everybody will have forgotten. So it's a typical Trimet response.
At that moment when the door shut and everyone, like the kind of chaos started happening.
The man's yell for help is what...
Okay, then the next question is, why are we talking to her? Okay, why aren't we talking to the guy that had it happen? Okay, why is she the one that's providing this interview? Don't you think it should be the guy that was actually affected? This is like what's called hearsay. This is secondhand. She's not the one that had the incident happen, so she's just watching something. She doesn't really know what she's watching. I mean, it's suspicious because it's not interviewing the guy that happened to. Why don't you interview the guy that it happened to?
Caught Paris Keller's attention.
And that's when I turned, and that's when I saw the doors had just started or finished closing, and he jumped up and he's like, "My dog!"
His 2 service dogs boarded the train with the help of another passenger at the Lent station Sunday night. That entryway did not have a handicapped ramp, so he moved to another doorway, but before he could get there, the doors closed.
All right, so what sounds like happened there is he put his dogs on one door, and then he proceeded to go to another door. So right there, that's just stupid. Okay, why would you board your dogs on one door and then you get on another door? That's what it sounds like. I mean, it's easily proven by the video, which Trimet won't let us see, which is also suspicious.
He was just in panic mode, like, my dogs, I need my dogs back.
Keller says the man who has an amputated leg clung onto the train.
He kind of was pulled and then fell to the ground and then pulled across the ground.
Dragged, Keller says, about 30 feet down the platform.
Because I was kind of facing the driver, I started going like this to try to get the driver's attention.
Keller says she made eye contact with the operator, who appeared to have checked his mirrors.
It was going really slow, so he could have easily just stopped and opened the doors.
Obviously, he didn't know what was going on, or he would have stopped and opened the doors. I mean, for crying out loud, do you know how many people are chasing these trains as they leave the station? Okay, it's continuous. They'll never get out of there if they wait for people, all right? And that's the bottom line. Obviously, he didn't know what was going on because he wouldn't have done it. Obviously. Now, the train's moving. You can't see what's going on when that train starts moving out those crummy mirrors. So, you know, obviously he didn't know what was going on. That's a given. He's not going to do it on purpose.
But then he gradually picked up speed.
The train, though, kept going. Keller says she helped the man and called 911. Trimet responded in a statement saying, in part, "We are conducting an internal investigation. It is unclear at this time if the operator was aware of the developments on the platform or the separation prior to departure."
I think they need to set some sort of standard, I guess, or practice where they double check and make sure that the platform's clear.
Now, the dogs were reunited with their owner shortly after. The man suffered minor injuries but was not seriously hurt. As for the Trimet Max Line operator, Trimet did not say if he or she could face any disciplinary actions. Live in Southeast Portland, Chris Lytle, K2.
All right, obviously this is not news. He's not hurt. He's not injured. He didn't have to go to the emergency room. He wasn't transported. He got his dogs back. This is public transportation, all right? This is, look, I spent a lot of time listening to the dispatch and the control. This is 24 hours a day shit like this is going on, all right? It's constant. And if you listen to it like I did, you'd realize there is fucking mayhem on the Trimet all the time. So what's the deal with this? Why did they pick the story up as something important? I mean, when the operators get spit on and maced, where's the interview there? Okay, I don't see a 3-minute story on that, but we see that when the operators screw up, they somehow, if he indeed screwed up, which is highly questionable, but that's the whole implication of this story. I mean, that they're running the story with the express intent to make the operator look bad. That's the intent of the story. And one has to wonder why Trimet cooperated with this, because we already know that Trimet can quash stories at will. The best example is my class action victory. Not one word in the mainstream media. And we know why, because Trimet quashed it. Trimet has incredible power here. Nobody really understands the amount of influence that the Trimet management and board and all the people that are involved with that agency have, okay? And we already know government is run by the corporations. It's a corporate entity. It serves the corporate interest. And KTU has a long history of anti-union reporting. And I would hate to see that Trimet is doing this intentionally to make operators look bad, but they do that. Trimet does this. There's a union thing going on right now. And the last time we saw this kind of reporting was when there was a controversy with the union, and now we're seeing it again. We saw it with a Lyft driver taking a dump, which had no value, and we see it with this. It has no news value. Nothing happened. I'll play you clips from the dispatch, okay? Much worse than this goes on out there.